Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with a quick fishing report for your week outlook. Tell you a little bit about what's going on now, what's coming up, and more. Right now, we're on the backside of a full moon. That means we should have some pretty good moving water, some good flushing bait, and some good tidal flows through the rest of this weekend and into the start of this coming work week. Plus, we've got a little bit of a cold front bearing down on the area. End of the weekend, sometime in that time range, we're going to get that cold front moving through the area. We've got a little weak kind of meandering front over the weekend, but it shouldn't affect things too much. That barometer is moving. Those fish should be feeding. Plus, on top of that, this work week coming up, we might have a little bit of turbulent conditions on the backside of that cold front later weekend, early work week, before potentially another front later this coming work week. So it's definitely one of those weeks where the weather's a little confused. It's going to be bouncing around a little bit, and we just kind of have to wait and see what happens weather-wise. But it is generally really good fishing ahead of these fronts. So hopefully we'll be able to get out there this weekend and take advantage of the good fishing. But we're going to have a little bit of a south wind and a little bit of a breezy condition ahead of that coming front. So if you can hide from the wind, find an area to get out there and catch them up, you should be doing well. Because like I said, this weekend, the bite should be pretty good with the moving water, backside of the full moon, and coming cold front. Right now, offshore, we've been doing really well. The weather really calmed down, and it was just flat, calm, beautiful, like a swimming pool in the Gulf of Mexico. We were able to rush out there on the Flying Hub 2 and really crush those red grouper. We were seeing some really good red grouper action with solid mangroves, a couple mutton. We were seeing a lot of heads and tails like the vermilions, almacos, porgies as well. Now, this week, the weather's definitely a little bit more tumultuous and making it a little bit more difficult for us to get out there, but we're going to try our best and try to capitalize on whatever weather windows we can find to rush offshore on the Flying Hub 2 and go catch them up. Plus, our friendly fishermen, our big party boat is back at the dock. It's looking beautiful. It's going to be Coast Guard inspected on the 18th, back in service the 19th, and our first 39-hour back after dry dock is going to be February 21st. So we're super pumped for those 39-hour trips to resume. Looking forward to that, and it's going to be a great time. Fishing should be hot. Plus, we're coming up on March. March is going to be a good time because triggerfish open back up for us, which will be nice to be able to start keeping some of those triggerfish once again. Remember, triggerfish are closed January and February, June and July. The rest of the year, they should be open for us. So we're looking forward to that. Plus, we've got red grouper to the end of May. We've got red snapper opening up June 1st. They should be open all the way through the end of August, maybe even to September sometime. Also, Jack should be open September and October. Gag should open September 1st. Unfortunately, preliminary data is showing us maybe only like a week of gag grouper season, but that could change. It could get a little longer. Time will tell. We'll find out more in April. Now, Nearshore, we're focused on those hogfish. We've been doing pretty well overall on the hogfish. The bite's been a little finicky as of late, especially this past week with kind of that confused weather condition. But these cold fronts, this kind of stirred up condition should hopefully help prolong our hogfish bite. They bite best in those cooler months, and when it warms up, that water gets really calm and cleared up. The hogfish get a little bit more tricky on us. So hopefully these cold fronts, this stirred up condition will prolong that hogfish bite even longer for us. They bite best around 40 foot of water up to about 60 foot. We've been seeing as of late, we're seeing a lot of lane snapper around that 50, 60 foot of water all the way up to about 120 foot. We're seeing a lot of red grouper starting around 70, 80, 90 foot, but really finding them best closer to around 100 to 120 foot. We're seeing red grouper biting best on big dead baits, big live baits. A lot of the whole squid, bonita strips, maybe cut gray snapper or white grunts working well for those red grouper. Also, Nearshore, a lot of the lane snapper, a couple of the mangroves, maybe a chance for the red grouper. Now, inshore, we've been seeing the same patterns consistent. The redfish going pretty well. They have moved off the dock lines a little bit, more of a grass flats, oyster bar, mangrove shoreline bite. We're seeing some pretty good trout action throughout the area. Virtually everywhere we're finding the trout, from the bridge all the way back to the upper bay and back bay waters on the flats, the mangroves. Virtually any structure those trout can hang out and ambush passing bait, you've got a good chance to find them and catch them. We're seeing a few of the flounder hanging on those sandy edges near the structures, near the flats, near the oyster bars. We're seeing a couple early tarpon moving around in the back bay waters. This is that time of year we start to see a little tarpon action moving around, but really come later March, that's when they really start to show up. And then April, they start to really move. And then May, June, July is kind of peak. So it is coming to that time of year. Spring is at the doorstep. We might even see some mackerel here in the next 2-3 weeks as water temperatures creep up. It was 69 degrees yesterday at the Egmont Key buoy. Remember, about 72 degrees is where we start to see a chance for those Spanish mackerel showing up. And then the kingfish aren't far behind. Hopefully we'll see that kingfish run pretty strong this year. So exciting stuff to come. Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Hopefully you can join us every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. for our live stream show. We give away $1,500 in free fishing trips every Sunday night. So hopefully we'll see you then. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Y'all have a great day, tight lines, and thanks for watching.